Hey, Scott from Aristocob.com here.
And Seth from the Shrinking Pastor. It looked like I had something on my shirt, but nope, that's just something on the screen.
And together, the three of us, we are Mark Woodman's Breakfast Club. Welcome once again. Good morning, boy.
Good morning, Homer.
Welcome back to Tobacco Advent, our countdown to Christmas. I'm distracted now. I want to dust you off. I want to groom
Yeah, it's not. I thought it looked like a big blue sticker, but nope, that's just a button to pause the video on the screen I'm looking at. So, pretty sure that's not on my jacket.
No, it's not.
Here.
It's not. So today's tobacco. Let's get to it so we can get to smoking because I'm anxious to try this one. Tell us about this Metalhead Cigar Guy.
Well, hey Scott, hey Seth, thanks for having me back to the Mark Woodman's Breakfast Club, and welcome back to the Metal Lounge. Alright, your guys' tobacco selection today is none other than my Headbanger Blend. Yes, the Headbanger. So, a while back, PipesandCigars.com had an option known as the My Own Blend, where you could choose from a variety of tobaccos and come up with your own tobacco blend. Well, I did so. With a little bit of input from the one and only Russell Ouellette, I came up with this blend, the Headbanger. And in this blend, there is the following: 38% Latakia, 25% Red Virginia, 25% Turkish Orientals, and 12% Perique. Now, for me, this is a nice kind of everyday in the afternoon, evening type of smoke. It's a very nice Balkan-style tobacco, and I think it's very reminiscent of the Peter Stokkebye's Balkan Supreme. But I will let you guys be the judge of that. Hope you guys enjoy it.
So, this is going to be awesome. This is like a who's who of your least favorite tobaccos. This is great.
Russ Ouellette was involved in this, so that's promising.
Yep.
But,
oh, yeah.
You missed the blend that Nathan and I got to have.
Did I?
Yes. Metalhead Cigar Guy sent along some tobacco that was another personal blend of some over-the-counter.
Was it his least favorite, and was it 1Q?
No. It was actually pretty good. It wasn't his least favorite. It wasn't 1Q. But this one scares me. I mean, really, I have to say it.
There you go.
There
you go.
Fan of these things. Oh.
Now you'll be all right. I mean, it can't be worse than bacon old chew.
That's true. Oh. All right, so as I load this into my pipe and then light this one over here that I have preloaded with 1Q, why don't you go ahead and give us our question of the day?
Alright guys, your question for today is this: what toy do you wish they still sold in stores today? We all had that favorite toy growing up as a kid. So what is it for you guys? What toy do you wish they still sold in stores today? Alright, hope that tobacco is treating you well. If not, hey, you asked for it. Alright, take care guys.
That's a good question. That's a complicated question.
Yeah.
Right? In the sense that there might be one or two things I'd like to go and get another one of that I had as a kid, but I wouldn't need to have a ready supply forever.
Yeah.
And there are some things I'd love to have that, would be available. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, you just screwed me up. You just screwed me up because I had an answer, but now I'm not so sure. One of the problems I have with this question is that the world is so interconnected now, and places like China keep making crap that people buy, and so a lot of the things that you used to only be able to get locally in your local store that may not be manufactured or sold broadly in the U.S., you can still get. So, like for instance, nostalgia in me, I would say Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, some of those older gaming consoles. But they did just release the Nintendo 64 Mini, which I don't care about because it's not good. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but it's, you know, the nostalgia part of me would say those things are great. You can still get
You can play Donkey
versions
Kong.
of those. Right. And so, you know, I think I've mentioned recently, I have a Raspberry Pi, which is set up as a retro arcade, which has all of those games, so I can play them. So there's still a piece of nostalgia about having the console, having to blow on the cartridge to you know, make it work. But it's not really necessary. My initial reaction was Buckyballs. Buckyballs are great. I love them. I have them on my desk at work, but they're not legal in the United States anymore because they're, if you've not had them, they are small BB-sized magnets, and with them you can create chains, you can create geometric shapes, you can create cubes.
So like a little fidget toy for your desk, executive fidget toy.
Great fidget toy. A lot of fun to play with. They have been outlawed in the United States because...
For good reason.
Right, because, well...
For good reason. They had... I don't know if they had death, but they had injuries, right?
I don't know if they did or not. So it's one of those things that they outlawed it to... They outlawed it on the ground... Right. The same reason that they are taxing the crap out of e-juice and e-cig stuff. So, you know, whether it's for good reason or not, I'm not sure. Small magnetic balls, their argument was they are attractive to children who might put them in their mouth. You eat two of these separately, what can happen is, as they pass through your digestive tract, they can pinch inside your intestines. And can cause a lot of pain, a lot of difficulty.
Yeah.
So,
and if it goes undiagnosed, it can actually cause the intestines to start to
cramp and
die.
to die. Yeah. So there's a potential to be very dangerous, but there's the same potential for a very similar type of danger for children eating quarters, which happens all the time. And so, you know, it's one of those things that, yes, the rationale is sound that it can be dangerous, but the solution to it is to ban the sale of them completely across the board. A different solution is to expect parents to be responsible adults and take care of their children. The same, I think, should be the solution for things like e-cigs, tobacco, guns. These are things that people should be allowed to have in their home and should take care of responsibly, making sure their children are not harmed. So I have some Buckyballs from before they were banned. That would be my response. Except that you can still buy them from China. So with that said, I don't know. I'm not sure. So give your answer and I'll think about it.
Well, I have two of them that I think about, and I think back to my favorite toys as a child. The SSP cars. These were cars that had a gyroscopic wheel, and you would stick a little ripcord down inside of it, and then give it a yank. And you've seen little toys that work like this. There's tops and things that'll do that. But that wheel was pretty heavy, and it would build up a bunch of inertia, and you'd set these things on the ground and they'd jump over ramps, and they even had a version of it that was the smash up derby, where you had body panels on these cars, and when they would run into each other, the panels would flip, so the door would suddenly be damaged.
I had a car,
and parts would flip off and things.
I had Matchbox cars that did that.
I had one of these that looked like a three-wheeled car. It was gorgeous. It was like a metallic green. Absolutely beautiful looking thing. That was my favorite. And I got that, I think, when I was probably around 10, 11, and had it for many years. It got all scuffed up and beat up, but I love that thing. And those would be fun to be able to get again, and maybe they already have them coming from China. But
So you say gyroscope with the inertia. When I think gyroscope, I think of the old metallic gyroscopes that you would use a string and pull, and you could balance them on a string and do all sorts of tricks and things. Was the wheel on these oriented forward? It was in line in the same plane as
it was the wheel. It was the wheel that the car would travel on.
Okay.
It had faux wheels on it, which were basically
For balancing.
Were little balancing points, little skid points, and so it would very little friction from those points, and that wheel would be what would drive it. They're just a lot of fun. When we were kids, we used to play with those things. All the kids in the neighborhood. It became kind of like Hot Wheels or Matchbox cars. It was the thing that we all collected. Everybody had them, and you would race them, and you would, like I say, you'd crash them into each other and do stunts and things like that.
Yeah.
That was one that I really enjoyed and would be a great one to have with the kids as well. But the one that I go on eBay every now and again and try to find, and every now and then I find it that I'd like to be able to buy, and I want to buy like a box of new old stock, was this little plastic device, and it was either a hexagon or an octagon, and it was sort of like opaque plastic, but in the center of it, it had a film, and you could run your finger on the bottom, and then what would happen on the top would be like a little psychedelic show. It was almost like the oil-based stuff. Like it was like when I did acid those times. It was like it had all the colors of like a mood ring, if you remember a mood ring. And you could play with these. And as a trainer, I'm always looking for little fidget toys that won't distract somebody. So someone in the room who's like me, who is easily distracted, oftentimes needs something in their hand to keep them focused. And if you don't give that somebody something, that's what you're going to hear in class. So I find these toys whenever I can, and like one of the ones that's quite popular now is I buy these clear acrylic plastic wands that have oil and glitter and little shapes, and they can sit there and play with the bubbles and do that. It's amazing how that will help people stay focused.
Yeah.
The best fidgety tools, though, that really would help you are ones that kind of go click, click, click. And so if you're alone in your office and you need something that you can fidget with in your hand, those are great. But
I'm really excited to get the fidget cube when it comes in. I very excited about that for that very reason. My mother-in-law made something similar to those wands for Ender. She uses them in her classroom, not for fidgeting, but actually for discipline. It's got, I think,
are they firm? Do they not leave a mark?
No. So it's a water bottle with a lot of glitter, and what I assume is soap or something. There's some sort of substance that is
food coloring and oil, probably.
No, it's maybe some food coloring. It's like lotion. It's something that has some viscosity to it.
And it's kind of pearlescent?
Yes.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And so what she'll do is, and she's given it to us for Ender, is if you need to have someone sit in timeout or spend some time alone, you give them this and make them shake it, or you shake it, and what it'll do is all of everything inside will spread out like a lava lamp almost.
Suspends it.
It suspends it, and they have to wait until it settles.
Neat.
The main part of this is that for children that fidget so much, is you'll put a timer. You'll tell them you do not get up until it settles,
and they can't
stop playing with it.
Which is serves their purpose.
They're choosing. Yeah, but it's a cheap version of that. Yeah, I'm not sure what's in it.
So I mean, those are weird choices for toys, and again, I think back and we used to have the line control airplanes. So these were whatever the ST's fuel was that would power the engine, and then you would stand with this line and go in a circle, and by moving your wrist, the controller, the lines would adjust but you just go in circles. There are still guys that have these gas-powered and even jet-powered cars, and they will anchor a point, and they have a track that they run on. And it seems silly, but it's fun. It's competitive to do. Those are things that I think back fondly on too as a kid. But slot cars, matchbox cars. We used to have these really neat little launchers. It was a device that looked like a car wash with these rubber or sponge rollers that when the car went through, they launch them out. And they could do a loop, and they could do all kinds of cool stuff.
Those things are so expensive these days. We were looking at some for Ender for Christmas this year. First of all, most of those have been licensed. So they're Star Wars. They're things that make it cooler, but also add a lot of money.
Yeah.
But to get a full set, like a track with launchers and cars, it's like $200.
Wow.
Yeah. He's not getting one of those this year. So I thought of mine. For me, I'm as usual going a little bit off script. There's a game that I love, a board game called Epic Duels. It is a Star Wars game that was released around the time I was working at that camp.
Camp Friendship. Yeah.
And we played it all the time. My copy is falling apart. The cardboard box is falling apart. It is a combination card game and strategy board game. So you have a playing field with you have your characters and you move them into strategic positionings, but then you attack and defend using cards in your hand. And so it can be very simple, can be very complex. What is amazing about it is that it has pretty much every main it comes with like, I think it has 12 main characters, and every main character has a secondary character. So it has everybody from Han Solo and Chewbacca as a main character sidekick combo. There's Greedo, there's Boba Fett, Jango Fett. It was
characters?
So it was released, it has all of the original trilogy, and it was released right after episode
1 or 2.
It may have been episode 3, but yeah, but it has Jango Fett, but it's got Luke and Leia as a team, Darth Vader and Stormtroopers, Yoda and Clone Troopers. It's got Emperor Palpatine, and they're all these little plastic miniature figurines.
Yeah, those are episode 1. Episode 1.
Well, no,
right?
Beyond that,
which was the fourth one released, right?
The clone troopers weren't in episode 1. They were in episode, and actually it has adult Anakin as well. So it was the whole 6.
Was it really?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yeah.
If you're playing at camp, that could be.
Yeah, and it has made me. They right around the time my copy started going bad, they pulled the game from the shelf. Now you can buy it for like $300 on eBay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which I'm not doing. It is one reason why I would like to get a 3D printer, because I have 1 or 2 of the figurines that are in bad shape. I baby them now. Don't play as often as I would like to, because it's a special game now. I'd like to be able to get that.
What you do is you buy the Peanuts nativity set, and you use those characters.
They're too big. I've tried that.
You've tried it?
No. Actually, for some crossover action, I do use the Emperor Palpatine figure as my character in D&D when we play. Yeah.
All right. I guess we're going to expand the question out there. So as you answer it, favorite toy and or game, right? Why not?
Yeah.
Love to know what
I
you
think
guys
board
think.
game is toyish.
Childish.
Hey, whoa.
What'd you think
whoa.
of? What'd you think of Headbanger?
I liked it. I'm a little smoked out right now, but
yeah.
It was. I thought it was a good mix, a good blend. None of the flavors stood out as being overwhelming by themselves, which can happen. a lot of times with a Latakia or a Perique in a blend, you get a strong hit. This I think was kind of it's like when you put too much salt and then too much pepper and then too much of something else, ketchup, and too much mustard, and you put too much of it all
back. Yeah.
But it all kind of evens out in the end. Well, what did you think?
I'm gonna shock you. It's all right.
Yeah,
That was all right. So
it's a win.
yeah, I am absolutely shocked.
Yeah.
So good job. Good job. So thank you for sharing your recipe too. So now others can go and do likewise. All right. We will see you again tomorrow. Be sure to leave a comment, and we'll see you then.
Bye.